I'm going to be reading Daniel in the Lion Pit from my first Bible. The people continued to disobey God, so he decided to allow the king of Babylon to march into Jerusalem and gain control of Judah. Many people were taken prisoner, including a group of young men from Jerusalem. Daniel was one of them. Next, the king told his chief officials to pick out from this group all the young men from noble families who could be trained to serve in his royal court. Daniel and his 3 best friends were among those chosen. The young men were taken to Babylon, where they were treated well. They were taught to speak, read, and write in the Babylonian language. The years passed. Daniel became very wise, and he always remembered to stay loyal to God. Then, one year, Babylon was captured by the Persians. Darius, the Persian leader, became king. Darius chose Daniel to be one of his chief advisors. Daniel served him faithfully. But the king's other advisors became very jealous of the popularity that Daniel had with the king. They decided to hatch a plot to get rid of Daniel. They found out that he had prayed to God every single day. They knew that if he wanted to get Daniel into trouble, it would have to be something to do with his religion. So they persuaded Darius to make a new law. The law said that for 30 days, no one was to ask for anything from any god or any human being, except from the king himself. If anyone broke the law, they would be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel heard about the law, but he was determined to stay loyal to God. He carried on praying 3 times a day. His enemies were pleased. Their plan had worked, and they quickly went to the king to tell him. The king was upset because Daniel had broken the law. There was nothing he could do to help him. So at sunset, Daniel was thrown into the lion pit, and the lions looked very hungry. "I hope your God can keep you safe," said the king. Although all through the long night, the king was deeply unhappy. He couldn't eat or sleep. He didn't want to listen to any soothing music, and all he could do was think of poor Daniel in the lion pit. In the morning, Darius hurried down to the pit. He didn't expect to find Daniel alive. He shouted into the pit, "Has your God saved you from the lions?" He was amazed to hear Daniel's voice saying, "Yes, your majesty. God has kept me safe. He knew I was innocent. I have done nothing wrong." Immediately, Darius had Daniel set free. Then he ordered that the men who had plotted against him to be thrown to the lions instead. King Darius made a new, very special law. Everyone in my kingdom must fear and respect Daniel's God. He is the one true, living God.